Greetings once again, my fellow Star Trek fans, and I'd like to welcome you to another Star Trek related video. You can see the Happy Meal board at McDonald's from 1979 is all lit up. We've got the collection of gold Enterprises, and we work our way down to this lovely lady, the 1350 Enterprise. And what I want to do is, my channel has been up for a little while, and to make a long story short, the video quality of the videos that I made at the beginning were pretty crappy, and some of the video was fuzzy, and it had a lot to do with the video editing software as well as the camera. The portable handheld camcorder and the video editing software really wasn't all that great. But what I got now is I got actually the high definition camera, and I've got the really good the Power Director software, and I think it's really cool. I think the results are awesome, and now I can put my videos up in high definition. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to start reshooting some of those collector items that I've shown you in the past in poor quality. And in light of Admiral Picard having the ship named after him, well, in his honor, rechristened as the Enterprise, what I want to do is I want to show you guys the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D. This is from Diamond Select, and I was going to go with the All Good Things Enterprise D that becomes Admiral Riker's flagship, but in light of Star Trek Picard and the beautiful U.S.S. Enterprise D, I wanted to do the regular one, the NCC-1701-D, and this is from Diamond Select. And I took the batteries out like I do in all my collectibles after I do the video, just to protect it. So this box is pretty big. This is a really good size ship. This is larger than the model. So the AMT model kit is 1/1400 scale, and I'm wondering if this is 1/1000 scale. Or maybe 1/1200 scale. I'm not quite sure. I'm not really good with scales, but why don't we take it over to the desk where there's more room and there's more light, and I'll show you guys this amazing Enterprise D. Okay, so up on the desk you can see the scale of this size of this model. I've got the camera set back to the widest angle, and it's still pretty large on the screen. You can see the front of the box. Again, we got Captain Picard, and again, the try me function is not working because I removed the batteries, but features all the following phrases and sound effects. Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Energize. Scan for life forms. Shields up. Red alert. Make it so. T. Earl Grey hot. Special pattern. Sierra and fire. Continual fire all phasers. Transferring command to the battle bridge. Damage report. Warp 9 engine. Warp 9 engage. Let's make sure history never forgets the name Enterprise. Prepare for emergency saucer separation. SFX, the transporter. The red alert, phasers, the warp drive, phasers and torpedoes firing, the impulse engines, and saucer section separation. So, you see the side of the box. Star Trek The Next Generation, U.S.S. Enterprise Electronic Starship. And I think both ends of the box, nope, this one's a little bit different. The color is different, but the wording is pretty much the same. And checking out the back, you can see the beautiful model. And the U.S.S. Enterprise from Star Trek The Next Generation. This is Starship Legends. The U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D is 642.5 meters. She has 42 decks, a crew of 1,014, which includes civilians, and a maximum speed at warp 9.6. In 1966, Gene Roddenberry approached NBC with a show he described as a wagon train to the stars. What he accomplished was beyond even his dreams. Cultural phenomenon daring to explore the nature of humanity under the guise of science fiction. It was embraced by the world, and Star Trek was born. September 28th of 1987, we saw the birth of the new sci-fi legend as the crew of the Galaxy-class U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D introduced Star Trek to the next generation of fans with spectacular results. The third Galaxy-class starship ever made, the U.S.S. Enterprise D was one of the most powerful and advanced ships in Starfleet. Upon its commission in 2363, it took its iconic name from the tragically lost Enterprise C, then went on to mark the name its own under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, undertaking important diplomatic missions as well as making first contact with a great number of previously unknown species. A floating city in space, the Enterprise D housed civilians as well as crew, and its saucer section could separate from the star drive section in times of combat, a feature that saved lives in the Battle of Viridian 3. You guys remember too the first time that we're introduced to the Enterprise D and Commander Riker, first time he goes aboard the ship, the captain has him manually reconnect the saucer section and the star drive. So some of the other things you can get from Diamond Select, I've shown you the science tricorder, I've shown you the communicator, and that's about it. I don't have the Enterprise E. I tried to get that for you guys and show you, but it was a fail. It didn't work. Do I have the Klingon Disruptor? I don't think so. I don't know. I've got so much stuff I don't really remember what I got. And the miniature Star Trek, nah, I don't have that. So, I tell you what, let's open up the box and we'll get her out. And then we'll put some batteries in her and we'll fire her up. Incidentally, in light of Star Trek Picard bringing back this lovely lady, I think I'm going to do, there are a couple of Enterprise D collector items that I have that I want to show you guys in high definition in updated videos. There's this one, there's the Aoshima one that I got that has all the windows that light up, and that's a really nice one, and I want to show you that. I think I'm going to show you that one next, because this lovely lady deserves the attention. So, I'll tell you what, we got the paperwork to show you guys, and we have the stand that's taped in the plastic underneath. So, we got a stand for the saucer section as well as the star drive. So, let me see. I think, let's try to get her out of this tray first. And let's see if I took all the ties out. Yeah, the only tie is for the base. Okay, so let's try to get her out of this. There we are. And we've got the stand, and that has the tie on it. So let's get this off, and that's everything in a plastic tray. So let's put that aside for now. And the star drive and the saucer section actually are connected by magnets, really strong magnets. All right, let's look at the instruction sheet first. So why don't you cut that out and we'll go right to the instructions. Let's put the stand over there. And the first thing we'll check out and we've got the instruction sheet. Star Trek Starship Legends, and that's a great series, by the way. I've shown you several, and this is the U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D. Did it really say that? I never really noticed that last time. This is the Enterprise E. Wrong, this is the Enterprise D, so it's a typo. You can see the plug When the hole is not in a stand, they have the plug that goes in. You can see the battery compartment in the secondary hull, and that takes 3 AAA batteries. And that's right, there are button batteries that go into the top. We got 3 of them, and that goes just behind the bridge, and that's probably around shuttle bay 1. And you can see the batteries that go in there. Shows you the battery replacement, safety information. You can see the removable saucer section. It's pretty cool when it removes and it docks back together. It's got a really cool sound effect. And we have the stands. To activate the Enterprise sounds, lights, press the bridge dome. And press here only to activate the lights. You can see on the back. To cycle through all authentic sound effects and phrases, hold down the bridge dome for 5 seconds. To turn off, press the dome again. You make sure everything is in a play position. There is a reset button should the electronic features freeze or malfunction. To activate Enterprise action lights and sound, press the dome bridge. We went over that. So that's everything in the instruction sheet. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and we'll put the batteries in. When you go to replace the batteries or install them, if you get it used, the back of the bridge section and where shuttle bay 1 is, you've got this compartment, and what you do is it actually slides. You slide it back like that, and that's how it gets locked into place. And what we do is we take the Phillips screwdriver. So these call for 1.5 volt batteries, and the ones that I had were, let's just say they've seen their better days, so I ended up getting some new ones off Amazon. And we need 3 of them. And what you do when the batteries are installed, you take the shuttle bay area and you click it back into place. And just like that, everything is set. So there is no switch or anything on here, and I'll show you what this does in a minute. So when it comes to the secondary hull, you can see there's an area on the bottom. It's got the screw. And I did the same thing. I got new batteries, just in case. Because that bag of batteries I have, it's definitely been around a while. Alright, and this is going to use AAA batteries. So, hopefully you guys can see the switch. We got on, off, play, and try me. And all the way to left is the play mode. There. Just like that, we're ready to have some fun. You can see the deflector dish and the nacelles and the Bassard collectors. I mean, I love this thing so much. How great would it be if all the windows lit up like the Aoshima? And oh, by the way, I'm going to be showing you guys that one again in high definition. Look at the back of the ship. Alright, let's go ahead and actually, when it docks, listen to the sound effects when we put the primary hull back on. You guys remember Commander Riker did it manually, and there are magnets in here that pull them together, and when it docks, hopefully you guys heard it. So when you put in, at least with this one, when you put the batteries in here, the saucer section doesn't do anything on its own per se just yet. But when you put the batteries in and you connect it to the back, you can see you got the impulse engines that light up, and we have the bridge that's lit up, and there's no lights from the bottom, but you can see the bridge, And when you push the button again, it should turn off the lights. And then when you want to activate it, you push the button on the bridge.
Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Energize. Scan for life forms. Shields up, red alert. Make it so. T.O. Greyhound. Dispersal pattern, Sierra, and fire. Transferring command to the battle bridge.
A nice little touch. I don't know if you guys are noticing the backs of the nacelles, they flash when the voice speaks. Well, now it's a sound effect. But when the captain speaks, there's a...
Continue fire all phases.
I think that was in yesterday's Enterprise when the Klingon ordered them to surrender.
Damage report.
And Captain Picard said that'll be the day.
9, engage.
But this thing is so beautiful. Let's see if I can get a little bit wider.
Let's make sure history never forgets the name Enterprise. Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Energize. Scan for life forms. Shields up, red alert. Make it so. T.O. Greyhound. Dispersal pattern, Sierra, and fire.
And again, the button in the back, when you want the lights to stay on, you push it down, hold it for a second, and then everything stays on. Again, you can see the bridge. We go back to the shuttle bay 1, and you can see the impulse engines are lit. We go back to the Bassard collectors, and you can see to the back of the nacelles and the bottom of the spine of the ship. We have the impulse engines, and all the way back you can see where the photon torpedo launcher is in the back. And we have, let's look at the underside of the ship. You can see the phaser arrays, and just like in Star Trek Picard, they were firing from the bottom. You can see the phasor arrays here. Diamond Select, if you're listening, please give us an Enterprise D from Picard with some of the sayings from Picard. That would be so nice. And I'd love to see Round 2 models make a Picard version of the Enterprise D, especially since we have a new... Well, I've always loved this. This is my second favorite Enterprise, but Star Trek Picard certainly has reignited everyone's loves of this ship. And she is certainly worthy of it. Look at how gorgeous she is. Again, looking at the... I'll separate the pieces in a minute, but showing you guys the photon torpedo launcher, the deflector dish. And again, listen to how cool the sound effects are when it engages or disengages. Separation of the saucer section.
Prepare for emergency saucer setup.
How cool is that? And let's go ahead and put the lights back off for a minute.
Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Now you guys may be wondering why it didn't work when I put the batteries in the first time. When you put the batteries in the saucer section, and I had them separated when I first, the batteries were out. I separated the parts and then I put the batteries in. Well, if you do that, what I did, and you go to push the button after putting new batteries in, it's not going to work. So you might think there's something wrong with yours. It's only after that you actually connect it to the secondary hull where it kind of syncs with the computer chip in here, or the circuit board, and it'll work fine. I'm showing you the bottom. You can see the captain's yacht, and look at all the escape pods. I know there's a lot. I ended up, when I did the Enterprise D model, I ended up painting them all, and there's a lot on the Enterprise D. And I also know that there's a lot because we're doing the Eagle Moss Build the Enterprise, and fantastic update on that. Fan Home, I got an email from them, and they're going to be doing the ship, and they're going to be resuming shipments as of July 17th, 2023. So as soon as I get that shipment in, I can't wait, and that'll be another video, but that's going to be for the Build the Enterprise D, and that's an amazing model. Looking at the bottom, you can see the Enterprise NCC-1701-D, and you can see the contacts that makes it possible for this to communicate with the secondary hull. Looking at the front, you can see all the windows, the transporter arrays. You got the phaser array coming up to the front. We got the bridge, we got B and C decks, and we got a couple of vents on either side. And going back, you can see Shuttle Bay 1. So looking at the back of the ship, you see the impulse engines. And it looks like, I think that's the Arboretum. And we're coming in to Shuttle Bay 1 for a landing. You can see Shuttle Bay 1 doors as we're coming up on the back, and B and C decks, and you can see the bridge on top. The officers' quarters, well, not quarters, the room, conference room. And yeah, this is really nice. This comes fully decorated, and you can see they're not like labels you have to put on. They look like they're more like almost like a painted on, but they're not. They're a decal, but really nice, high quality model. The only thing that I would wish, if anything, is that if all the windows would light up, that would make it better. But all in all, this is a fantastic model. And this is slightly larger than the 1/1400 scale. At least it feels bigger. It could be the same size, I'm not sure, because it's been a while since I made the Enterprise D model. But this is the saucer section, primary hull of the Enterprise D. So why don't we go ahead and check out the secondary hull, or the drive section, the star drive. You can see some of the Aztecing that they put in, and the windows. You can see the back. We got the escape pods underneath, and the battle bridge. And you can see the phaser array coming to the back. You got shuttle bays 2 and 3. Back to the impulse engines. And we got the Bussard collectors and the cells, and we go back to the photon torpedo launcher. There are supposed to be port and starboard lights. The one on top is thicker on this side, the one on the bottom is smaller. And on this side, it's smaller on top and larger on the bottom. It's funny how they kind of crisscross like that. So we go to the back, and you see the backs of the nacelles. They got the markings. They got a lot of detail on these. Really nice. Come around and see the Bussard collector. And as we go to the other side, let's light it up. Again, you take the button, you push it down for about 1 second. 1 second, push it into, you hear it click a little bit, and then it stays on. And they're nice and bright. Just beautiful. Again, this is my second all-time favorite Enterprise. I absolutely love the D. In my opinion, second only to the NCC-1701. Okay, just like in the pilot episode, Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 1, Encounter at Farpoint. So this is what's going on. The ship, the bottom, the secondary hull or star drive picked up Commander Riker, and they're on their way to rendezvous with the saucer section. You guys remember, Captain Picard asked Commander Riker if he was familiar with the docking procedure, and he said yes. So Captain Picard told him he had to do it manually. So everybody's looking like, uh-oh, he's going to do it manually. But of course, it's Commander Riker, and he did it flawlessly. I'll put a picture up of it. I want to put the video, but it'll get stricken, and I won't be able to. The screen shows the saucer section coming into dock, and we can do it this way. Just like that.
Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
I like it when it separates. You guys remember like it did in Generations, when the star drive exploded. And of course that horrible, horrible scene where it comes down on Veridian 3 and it goes through all of the trees and finally comes to a stop. You see if the camera will zoom in, and it just kind of stops like that. But she would be rescued, or because of the Prime Directive, we learn in Star Trek Picard that the saucer section is actually recovered. And it's Geordi that wanted to keep the Enterprise D as a surprise after all this time. And when they go into the Starfleet Museum, we see the lovely, beautiful Enterprise NCC-1701-D. Now when you go back and reconnect it, you may notice that there's no sound. So let's go ahead and put the lights off. And now we separate it.
Prepare for emergency saucer 7.
This automatically lights up. And okay, Commander Riker, he's given the instructions to manually reconnect the halves. Dock. So when you disconnect it,
prepare for emergency saucer 7.
You get the ship when it's leaving, and when you reconnect it, you hear how it kind of, because it's so massive and heavy, it just kind of clashes when it locks into place. And she's whole again. And we're ready to go rescue the alien jellyfish-like creatures, which incidentally are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love that episode. We're introduced to Q, and Q is one of my favorite characters in Star Trek. And we got the beautiful, the lovely NCC-1701-D. And I would love Diamond Select to re-release. It's been a while. I think the last thing we got from Diamond Select, the Starships collection, was actually the NCC-1701-C in the Gold Edition, and I don't have that one. I'm showing you guys my Gold Collection Enterprises now, but I do not have the C. Let's go through the sounds one more time.
Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Get it where I can hold it for you guys and still be able to see everything.
Energize.
Actually, yeah, let me show you guys the base. You have the option of putting the base and keeping the whole ship whole, or you got the option of putting the base on just the bottom of the star drive. So this one is for the star drive. I'm sorry, for the primary hull. And it goes in, you can see the insignia, and you take the triangle, and what you do is you kind of just push it into place. Just like that. And that's all you need to do. When you get the larger one, again, it's got the shark's fin shape. And this one, you can see where you're just going to push it in. Half moon, or the half circle, and we line it up.
Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Like that. And then we put the smaller one on the star drive. And then we put it together. There. If you want to keep it, the ship together, you do have to have both of the stands. There. Just like that.
Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Energize. Scan for life forms. Shields up, red alert. Make it so. Earl Grey hot. Dispersal pattern, Sierra, and fire. Transferring command to the battle bridge. Continue fire all phases. Damage report. Group 9, engage. Let's make sure history never forgets the name Enterprise. Open a hailing frequency. This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Energize.
There. And that, my friends, is the beautiful, let's put the lights on, Enterprise D. Diamond Select. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. And again, I had already done this video, but I wanted to redo it in high definition because the ship, this model is just so incredible. And eventually I'll be doing the All Good Things one again too, because I did that one a while ago. And this camera and the software will be much better to do it in high definition. So my friends, as usual, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this video of this lovely lady. And until my next video, my friends, I'll talk to you soon.